Thank you very much for taking time to come and watch this webinar. I hope you are all comfortable and ready to hear a bit about why I think it's time for you to foster. So I wanted to tell you a bit about Banya. What is in the name? Banya is a fostering agency which I set up about 21 years ago. And Banya is a Shona word from Zimbabwe, which means a meeting place, and sometimes it's a shelter tree. It implies a sense of belonging and support for widely spread out community. A little bit more about Banya. Banya is a national independent fostering agency offering foster care to children and young people who are looked after by local authorities. We've also developed shared life schemes since 2012, and this is for offering care in carers' homes for vulnerable adults. It was established in 1997, which is 21 years ago. We celebrated it in December last year. We've got about 130 foster carers and 120 children we look after. And we've got 10 shared life carers looking after 9 shared life adults. So why foster? Foster, you want to foster because you love working with children and young people. You like helping those less fortunate than yourself, children in need, because you have got a spare room, time, energy, and skills. There's a national shortage. Actually, it's now gone up to 16,000 national shortages of foster carer. You want to develop professional career as a foster carer, working from home and flexible. You want to have regular work. We get more than 1,000 referrals per month from all the London boroughs as well as countrywide. You also like support from our social workers and the admin team. Banya is not too big, it too feels like a family. So we care about our foster carers. When we're thinking about fostering, people are always asking me this question: what are you looking for in preparing you to become a foster carer? We're looking for people who are child-centered, who are supportive, have got a wide range of backgrounds, diverse age group, and who can offer commitment and understanding of why children come into care. Working is not a problem. If your work is flexible and you work less than 15 hours per week and you're able to do the school runs, for example, you've got a spare room for fostering, considering the sleeping arrangement of your own family. It might help if you've been a parent or childcare experience or have worked with children vulnerable, but this is not essential. A lot of people are always asking, oh, I've never parented, but I love children. Would this exclude me? You've got to be a team player, be able to work as a team, because around a child in care, there's so many people involved, professional people, doctors, schools, birth parents, the local authority, social worker, Banya's team. So you've got to be really part of a team player. So good communication skills are essential, and being able to know when things are not going well, to communicate when things are not going well, when things are going well. You need to have an appropriate home environment where you've got a lot of support from your neighbors, your friends, your family to help you with your new responsibility as a foster carer. The other jargon which is used in fostering is what kind of placement, what kind of child will I have? And there's all this I call them JAG, long-term placement, which means a child living with you long-term until they leave care. Short-term, task-centered is all just small pieces of work. Task centers is normally about preparing the children to go back home. Respite care is about just giving another carer a little bit of respite. Emergency placement, it tends to be the main core business of Banya, in that the children come into our care on an emergency the same day. Bridging placements is normally about bridging care while your child is being prepared for adoption. Parent and child placement, we're getting more and more of this parent and child placement where the parents are vulnerable themselves, or for some reason the local authority are not sure whether the parents can look after the child. In all working with vulnerable people, including children, we've got to keep ourselves safe, everybody safe, yourself. So there's checks we need to do. One of them is the police check, which is all the disclosure and barring checks, and for short it's called DBS. And this is for anyone who is over 17 and a half in your family, regular visitor, your backup, your neighbors, or whoever is going to help you look after your child, your babysitters, they all need to be police checked. Local authority check, this is where you live. If you're known to the local authority for whatever reason, you need to have a medical from your GP. If the house is not your own house, we need to check, we need to have consent from your landlord that it's okay for you to foster in their house. And then we look for references, personal, ex-employer, people who really know you, who've known you as a parent, or with you working with children or vulnerable people. Health and safety check in your house. And then we do what we call the Form F assessment report, which then comes to panel, which is really about your family history from where you were born to today, what jobs you've done, what views do you have about looking after children who have got disabilities, learning difficulties, children who've been abused. So it's quite a big report, which then gets sent to the panel for the panel to make a decision. Sometimes people have heard all sorts of things about fostering, about you have got this issue, you might have a problem. So I just thought I would just highlight things we feel we don't have any problems with, and some health issues, some criminal record. It doesn't exclude you becoming a foster carer if you've got a criminal record, but it depends what it is. Some allegations. Some people you might have had an allegation made against you, whether it's against by a child. All these things, we need to know about them. And then we can explain it to you. So you can't just exclude yourself because you've got this background. You just need to talk to us and tell us what you feel, what is your background, and we can say, that does exclude you, rather than you making your own mind because somebody else has told you. In all the fostering career, one of the main things is that you have got a foster carer package, and this involves 24-hour support, membership to the fostering network, ongoing training and development. That is really important that you've got to keep, because of the profile of the children changing all the time. The law is always changing because we're governed by legislation. So you need to keep up to date with that. And our fees have just gone up. It's £402 per week to cover, we call it an allowance. And this includes 2 weeks holiday respite. You will have regular support and supervision from a Banya social worker. You'll be invited to fun activities for children and foster carers. You'll be part of the mentoring scheme. You have a mentor buddy to mentor you and support you as part of your fostering. And the tax on your payments only applies to the allowance if it's over your basic cost of the child and pocket money. The assessment process, again, is another thing which is really confusing to people. What is involved in this assessment process? It really starts from the beginning when we visit your house to come and see you. Once you've expressed an interest, we visit you to see whether it's okay, and we pick up some of the checks. If everyone is happy, we check whether your room you've got a fostering room, it's in a good state for a child, it's a safe environment. And then we move on to, then you come and do what we call Skills to Foster, which is a 3-day Skills to Foster training with the trainer, who will then give us feedback about how you were in the training. It's also a time for you to decide whether this is for you, because you get more information about what's involved. All the checks are carried out in stage 1. So the medical, the DBS, the local authority check, the landlord consent, they all get carried out in stage 1. Stage 2 is really where this assessment really starts in terms of to produce this report, the Form F. And it should take 3 to 6 months for the stage 2. And then it will come to an independent fostering panel. And they're the ones who make recommendation to the agency for you to become a foster carer or not. And then after that, the Banya will make a decision whether to approve you or not to approve you. And then from then onwards, that's when the fun starts. The children arrive. So I hope that has given you a brief outline of what is involved and why I think it's time to foster. It can be very rewarding. Myself as a foster carer, I have found it very rewarding. Thank you very much for your time.